Gary, a trip to Nuneaton is your second pre-season friendly this weekend. What are you looking to get out of that one?
Again, good fitness levels for the players, good performances, victory, goals, just a good structure. Look a bit more organised than the weekend, and play better in possession than the weekend. We've done two in-house 11v11s this week. Got some minutes into the lads and mixed the teams up as well. So it's we'll go there. We'll go there in good shape and look for a good performance.
It's a bit of a step up in opposition. You would expect the surface to be a little bit better as well, a bit more grass on the pitch. Does that help you and help the lads to perhaps put a few more ideas into play?
Yeah, Jimmy's been great, the manager there. He's sent me a picture of the pitch there. They've worked their socks off to get a really good pitch for pre-season because they've got some good clubs going there to play against them. And yeah, it'll probably be similar to what we're used to here at Cantley. And we can put what we work on into the week into play. And listen, you're not going to execute things straight away. It's going to take a few games, but if you get 3 or 4 good moments in a game that you've been working on in the week, then it's successful. And we'd just like to make it be seen by the neutral or the fan that there is a style we're trying to do.
The 11v11 games you mentioned that have taken place this week, it's not like it's just been 90 minutes of a game, has it? It's situation based, aren't they? Steve Eyre and yourself have both been on the grass, whether it's final 10 minutes of a game, this is the scenario. It helps the players, doesn't it, to be put in those sort of situations?
Yeah, let's check out the decision making. Let's get an all-in agreement on certain scenarios and what the non-negotiables are in them situations. We don't want. You're always going to get individuals go and win your football games, but when you are winning, then you need to be all on the same page. How do we see out a game? What do we do? What do we do in the last 5 minutes? What do we do from set plays, etc.? So we've introduced set plays back into them this week quite a lot. We've had a good meeting, good few reminders of how well we finished the season defending set plays, and how well we finish the season on attacking set plays as well with short corners and stuff like that. But yeah, it's been structured, half hour halves, changing the teams here and there, not putting too much into certain players because they'll have more minutes on Saturday. So the lads that probably won't have the most minutes Saturday have done a good couple of hour games here this week. So yeah, there's a lot of thought and a lot of detail going into it, and hopefully come the kick-off time you'll see the work that's been put in.
Good for the academy lads to be back down here as well and get a bit more of a feel for the place. Obviously after COVID and a couple of years of being based down at the stadium, to be back here 2 or 3 days a week must be brilliant for them as well, given your previous role.
No, it is, yeah. When I was a player here, it was just the norm. The youth team were based here, and we as coaches were based here when I started working with the youth team. And that couple of season of COVID and just restrictions, it was huge void really. So to get them up here now as much as we can, it'll probably be a bit of a hybrid model, but at least 3 times a week they'll play their games here all the time. So it's great for them to be around it. It gives them the real experience of a scholarship in football. Some lads have left the club not really knowing first team players over the last couple of seasons. So it's just good, and to use them like we did last week at Armthorpe, it's real good for them, and it's going to help. It's going to help bridge gaps. There's some quite big gaps in the last couple of seasons in terms of youth team players getting to the level of the pros. But we like to think that doing it this way will speed up the gaps for the ones that got a chance.
Have you noticed a bit of a difference with the first team boys since that first pre-season game? You obviously got a couple of weeks before it to get all the fitness-based stuff done, but once you've had that first pre-season game, it sort of whets the appetite, doesn't it, for the lads?
Yeah, it definitely does. To come through it with no new injuries from that game was good. Some of them are real pros. They know as individuals it probably wasn't good enough. They probably put a performance level on themselves, but like I say, it was about minutes really. It was about going to Armthorpe, making a day of it, putting a good gate on for them, and that's exactly what we did. But we've seen big improvements this week in training. We've kind of highlighted a couple of things of, listen, this is not what to do. We don't want to do these types of things, silly errors, dribbling in silly errors, running out from the back in silly areas and leaving massive gaps. So we've really addressed a couple of things that's, look lads, we don't do that going forward. It's simple as that, and the lads are really buying into everything at the minute.
George Miller as well, to have that feeling of hitting the back of the net for the first time in a Rovers shirt, whether it's in a pre-season friendly or the first league game, it doesn't really matter, does it? He's had that now. He's got his first goal under his belt, and hopefully the first of many.
Yeah, goal scorers, it's so important to get the confidence of that first one, and like you say, regardless of where it is, he'll be chomping to get the next one now. So if that's at Nuneaton Saturday, great, he's 2 in 2. But if it takes a while, as long as we get the work rate off him, the performance level, and he's got the hunger. We seen one of his interviews yesterday, I think it was, and he talks about he wants to be the one to score the goals. He wants to be the main man. He wants to make sure he's in a team that's got a winning mentality and can win football games. So within 2 weeks, we've changed George Miller's sort of the way he speaks about football a little bit, because he came into it knowing that he works his socks off and he's a runner, but openly admits to where he needs to improve, and kind of laughed it off a bit. But he knows the seriousness now of what it's going to take to be a big player here, and he knows the demands we set him, and he's really buying into it, and he wants to improve.
And this game on Saturday, the first of a handful really in the space of 10 days, isn't it? This is where the heat starts to get turned up a little bit.
Yeah, so it's important that we monitor the minutes, make sure the player availability is good, because we want to put performances on. We don't want to be 2 or 3 men down in key areas where you feel you can't quite get your patterns going or your style of play going, because ultimately, come the start of the season, certain players won't play in them positions when others are fit and available. So it's key to just, like I say, monitor it, but make sure the players' fitness, they need to get what they need to get out of it, good fitness levels, but we want to get performance levels out of it as well.